Mahadev, 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 Mahadev. Is this okay? Om Om Yo Brahman Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tam Hadevamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamshashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitaha Prajnanaganaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi Om Vedantarthavibhasakaya Gurave Shantaya Sannyasine Nanavadi Nagendra Sanghapavaye Yogindra Vandyaya Cha Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavat Padabhidham Bibhrate Tasmai Bhashakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bodhatmane Om. Kaivalyam, Moksha and Ajnana Nivritti, all the three words. Now, going by that sentence, we are able to conclude are synonymous. They all look a replacement for each other. Whether you say Kaivalyam, whether one says Moksha, or one says Ajnana Nivritti, eradication of ignorance. All these three look as synonyms to the Shruti. Thus, when you have said moksha is your purushartha, that means it is kaivalyam, and that kaivalyam means eradication of ignorance. For our convenience, now place it in an order. Let us place it, give it an order for these three words, though they are synonyms, but an order. That how do you recognize meaning of the word moksha as kaivalyam and meaning of the word kaivalyam as ajnana nivritti, because of which in Vedanta we say moksha means ajnana nivritti. Okay, what do we mean moksha as? So far we have understood the word moksha means annihilation of, absolute annihilation of suffering, misery, is what is understood. But what exactly is this annihilation of misery? To which we are going to say is kaivalyam. How then is? So now you understand this sequence. I will give you a sequence, some steps. Because of ignorance, there is Hmm? Because I do not know I am Brahman, I misunderstand myself to be a Jiva. Hmm. Because I do not know that I am complete, I assume myself to be incomplete. Ah, is not that true? Because I do not know that I am fulfilled, I consider myself to be unfulfilled, inadequate, incomplete. Because I do not know I am infinite, I consider myself to be finite, limited. Got it? Now, n- this very feeling that I'm inadequate, I'm incomplete, I am limited, I am small, it, it becomes the cause for desire. And what is that desire? Let me be complete, let me be fulfilled, let me be infinite, let me be, what do they call, adequate. Is not that what you are trying for? Look at everything that you are doing and everything that you want. Behind it is only singular motive, and that is I want to be fulfilled. I want to find myself complete. Therefore, now, because of ignorance, there is the sense of incompleteness. Now, this sense of incompleteness leads to desire. That desire leads to karma. Ah, it leads to karma because there is a desire. And naturally, there is some karma in order to fulfill the desire. Now, that karma also is very interesting thing because that karma is its result is papa punya or mishra phalam. It is a wide spectrum. On one end of it is punyam, on the other end is papa, and it goes depending upon the intensity of punya and papa. Now the phalam also is had. Because of that karma, there is karma phala, and that karma phala means in order to experience that karma phala, one will have to have an appropriate body. If you don't have that appropriate body, how can that karma phala be experienced? In order to experience punya, which is of higher nature, you require the body of the celestial beings. It cannot be experienced in the body of the mortal people, mortal person. So you require the body of a celestial being, Pitrulok and up above. Go. Gandharva, Yaksha, Kinnara, Devta, Karmadeva, Ajanadeva. That kind of body you require. True? Now, assuming a body, getting that sharira means arriving in some form of a garbha. Whether that garbha is that of a manushya garbha or of a bird, of an insect, or whatever it may be, but it ensures a vicious, huh? a vicious continuation of dukkham. How? Garbha dukkham. Janma Dukkham, Sanyoga Dukkham, Viyoga Dukkham, Roga Dukkham, Jara Dukkham, Mrityu Dukkham. After that, again the karma phala means that again a body. Again the body means again garbha dukkham, janma dukkham, sanyoga dukkham, viyoga dukkham, roga dukkham, jara dukkham, and again mrityu dukkham, dead. After dying, again karma phala, some other body. How you just finished living in a human body, Devata body. Finished Devata body, human body. From that human body, some Pashu body. From that Pashu body, an insect body. From an insect, a bird, and again something of the other. That karma phala is again and again casting you into some body. And therefore, what is there now? Dukkham. So if one thinks that escaping from this body and getting another body, a better place, is escape from dukkham. Now, sir, different type of dukkham. Hmm? You may not have the dukkham of manushya, but you will have dukkham of devata. When you have come to America, you do not have the dukkham of an Indian living in India where the electricity goes and there is chaos. But there is a different kind of tension. Constantly you have to be worried about your job and people, keep yourselves on toes. This is Texas, people with guns. Is not that? Has dukkham left? Now the dukkham of an American life. Dukkham of Indian life finished. Dukkham of American life. कहाँ है? Different dukkham, but दुख कहाँ चला गया? And therefore, again and again, again and again. So, gaining a body itself means dukkham. But what did it begin with? That desire is there because of. So, what is the cause of dukkham? Ignorance. You do not see ignorance is dukkham. Everybody is comfortable with ignorance. I don't know the Brahman, doesn't matter. But I have got problem, I have got a fever, I have got a toothache, I have got this problem. My job is at stake. Dukkham or not? But is your problem not knowing Brahman? He says, no, my problem is not knowing Brahman. My problem is a toothache, a headache, my wife, my children, my job. This is my problem. If you can give me a solution for these things, I think it will be better. That is a practical spirituality, Swamiji, Tell us practical. How to deal with wife, children, job, police, tax. That is better. Practical spirituality. You're talking about Brahman. What has it got to do? Do you say this is what this man says? But the problem is, so you are comfortable with ignorance. You are comfortable with ignorance, so you don't see ignorance is the problem. There are these problems. But the thing is, ignorance is not the problem, but ignorance is the cause of the problem. And that is the reason why people cannot turn to Vedanta. They want solutions to these problems. And even if you get temporary solutions, the problems don't end. It presents itself in another form, presents itself in, so we say, old wine in new bottle. तो वहां से छूटे इसमें पड़े. So, so now we understand. Say, suppose if you don't get body at all, not coming into Garbha, not having a body, what will that mean? Garbha Dukkham is not there, Janma Dukkham is not there, Sanyoga Dukkham, Viyoga Dukkham, Roga Dukkham, Jara. Jara means old age. Jara Dukkham and Mrityu Dukkham. Nothing is there. Correct? Nothing is there. And therefore, if there is no form to be attached to, identified with Dehanasana, Deha Rahityam also can be called as freedom from Dukkham, Deha Rahityam, because the moment body is begins at Garbha Dukkham, comes up till Mrityu Dukkham. So Deha Rahityam also can be called as Dukkha Rahityam. Correct? And the meaning of word Kaivalyam is Dehadi Rahityam. We will see how. So therefore, moksha, which means Dukkha Rahityam, also means Dehadi Rahityam. Correct? So moksha means Kaivalyam. That Kaivalyam means Deharahityam, and that means how will it happen? Avidya Nivritti. And therefore, the meaning of these words, now moksha, which you initially started with, means Kaivalyam, and that Kaivalyam means Ajnana Nivritti. Can there be Dehadi Rahityam without ignorance getting eradicated? Because as long as ignorance is, there is desire, there is karma, there is going to be acquirement of a body, and that means rest of the story. Therefore, in Vedanta, the meaning of the word moksha is correct. Avidya nivrittihi. So far, what were we seeing the meaning of the word moksha? Huh? Correct. It meant दुःखस्य अत्यन्ताभावः. Correct? It meant that dukkasya atyanta absolute absence of dukkham. But that absolute absence of dukkham means dehadirahityam. That means avidya nivritti. Got it? But people who are not exposed to Vedanta, what is he going to say? Dukkha nivritti batao. Not having body and freedom from the cycle of life and birth. Who's worried about it? Who is worried about this cycle of life and birth? And on top of it, you have given a solution which is called as avidya nivritti. Not knowing Brahman is the cause of dukkham, but I don't see the cause of dukkham is my job. The cause of dukkham is something else. My son not listening to me, my daughter not listening to me. The dukkham. Got it? He who is not exposed to Vedanta, can he admit the meaning of word dukkha nivritti means ajnana nivritti? The person who is not exposed to the shastras, will he say, will he say that dukkha nivritti means dehadi nivritti, dehadi rahityam? Will he say that? Rahityam means? Huh? Huh? Will this fellow say that dehadi rahityam is dukkha nivritti, the one who is not exposed to the shastras? Then, even if you are exposed to the Indian culture and shastra, if you are not exposed to the Upanishad, will you ever say that dukkha nivritti or dehadi rahityam means ajnana nivritti? No. And therefore, ajnana nivritti is dukkha nivritti is the definition given to you by the Upanishad, nowhere else. Even if you go to Swarga, that's why the solutions which these people have given is going to Swarga, their heaven. And if you believe in God, you will go to heaven. If you don't believe in God, you will go to hell. And eternally forever. What kind of a merciful God is this? What kind of a merciful God is this that he sends people to hell eternally to suffer because they didn't, he did not love me. He did not believe in me. That is the God. And you have to call him merciful. This is compassion that you are giving me. Say, suppose my lifespan is 60 years, and in this 60 years, I refuse to believe in God. For the span of 60 years, you are casting me into the fires of hell for innumerable years. Millions and millions, innumerable, uncountable years. This is compassion. You say call this God as very compassionate. What is the compassion here? Now you understand why these kind of ideologies have created tyrants like Aurangzeb. Because the ideal is this, the source is this. विकृत कर देता है मनुष्य के मानसिकता को. Anyway, so now you have understood yena muchyate. What is the sentence? Jnanadev tu kaivalyam prapyate yena muchyate. Very potent words, okay? Eva, that evakar means for moksha, jnana alone is adequate. But say suppose if we give support, no need eva. But in other cases, karma upasana is required. In other karma phalas, putra vitta lokadi phalas, what is required? Karma and upasana is required. And over here we said no, here jnanam. So the other fellow may come. Jnanam is required, but let us give karma and upasana also to it. It will make that moksha faster, powerful. And he says, eva, nothing else. Compared to all other purusharthas, they may be the phalam of karma and upasana. Putra vitta loka can be the phalam of karma and upasana. But moksha is attained by knowledge alone. Moksha is attained by knowledge alone. But sir, nishkama karma, is that your question? The phalam of nishkama karma is antakarana shuddhi. The phalam of nishkama karma is antakarana shuddhi. Is that phalam moksha? So what is the phalam of nishkama karma? Antakarana shuddhi. Got it? Call it antakarana shuddhi, chitta shuddhi, athava sattva shuddhi, one and the same. Okay. What is the phalam of nishkama karma? Okay. What is the phalam of sakama karma? Putra vitta loka. What is the phalam of nishkama karma? Antakarana shuddhi. Now say suppose if you have antakarana shuddhi, but you are not striving for moksha, will that antakarana shuddhi give moksha?
Only knowledge.
No, right? But when you want moksha, and in order to attain moksha, you want antakarana shuddhi, and through that antakarana shuddhi, shravana manana nidhyasanam, which is the means of knowledge, and therefore when knowledge is generated, avidya nivritti. So from one angle, when you are going to see, nishkama karma also becomes the cause for moksha, but with vyavadhan. With vyavadhan means with some pauses. Means with something in between. Vyavadhana. What is this vyavadhanam? It means through nishkama karma, antakarana shuddhi, because of antakarana shuddhi, shravana, manana, nididhyasanam. From shravana, manana, nididhyasanam, there is brahmakara vritti, knowledge. This knowledge destroys the ignorance, which is avidya nivritti, which means is moksha. Now look at that. If you just say that karma yoga is sufficient, karma yoga will give you antakarana shuddhi. But if that karma yoga is not meant for moksha, it will stop. But when you recognize moksha is your purushartha, and that is the reason why you are doing karma yoga, in order to gain antakarana shuddhi, with the shuddha antakaranam, the shravana manana is possible. Through shravana manana nididhyasanam, the brahmakara vritti which means is knowledge that destroys. Will you see the whole sequence? Now somebody says, you go by the path of karma, you go by the path of bhakti, you go by the path of yoga, you go by the path of knowledge. All the paths will come there. As if these are options. Are these options? Is karma yoga an option to jnanam? Is bhakti, upasana an option to knowledge? But this, when you are saying this option, go from the north side, go from the south side, go from the east side, go from the, everybody will reach there. Are these parallel paths? From karma, when it gets infused with upasana, that is bhakti. That itself is karma yoga. This karma yoga becomes the prelude to jnana yoga, and this jnana yoga, which is shravana manana nidhyasanam, is the direct cause. And therefore, what is that smriti? Jnanad eva kaivalyam. That two means, but other things can be the phalam of karma and upasana. Even antakarana shuddhi also can be phalam of, is the phalam of karma upasana. Nishkama karma is what? Nishkama karma is karma upasana only, karma plus upasana. So, that is karma. Rest of it, whether it is putra vitta loka athva antakarana shuddhi api, is the phalam of karma and upasana. But kaivalyam is the phalam of jnanam. Jnanad eva to kaivalyam. Got it? Prapyate yena muchyate. Jnanam yena prapyate saha muchyate. Yena, by him, by anyone, what is attained? Knowledge. Knowledge attained by someone, or he who has through knowledge, he becomes free. He who has knowledge becomes free. Prapyate yena muchyate. Got it? So this whole thing is conveyed in this. Is not it a very beautiful sentence? See, this is how it is. Jnanadev tu kaivalyam prapyate yena muchyate. Okay. Now furthermore, 94. केवलस्य आत्मनो भावः कैवल्यम देहादि रहितत्वम. What is kaivalyam? Kevalasya bhavaha. Basically, grammatically, what kaivalyam will mean? From where has this word kaivalyam derived? It is a bhavavachak padam. Uh-huh. Is it not it? So when you have the word karuna, what word? Karuna. Its bhava will be karunyam. Correct? Karunyam. Like you have Maitri. The word is, then you will say Mitrata. Bhavavachak. So the word is Kevala. Word is Kevala. उसका भाववाचक पद क्या होगा? कैवल्यम. केवलस्य भावः कैवल्यम. Got it? केवलस्य भावः कैवल्यम. But who is that kevala? Just over here, that just that means Atma alone. Atma alone means that word is suggesting no trace of anatma. Atma alone means no. From where does this anatma begin? From avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and this subtle body, this gross body, prana, indriya, and everything else. Rahityam, there is nothing that is anatma. And so, what does it mean? Kaivalyam will mean dehadi rahityam, beginning from the body, etc. Nothing is there. So, what is there? Atma alone. That what is Purnam, no space for anything else. No space for anything. Even space is also the content. The rest of the places, space becomes the container. Here, the space is also the content. That is that is के आत्मनस्य क्या कहते आत्मनस्य कैसे होगा आत्मनः कैवल्यम आत्मनः मैंने गलत बोला है आत्मनः कैवल्यम सो केवलस्य भावः कैवल्यम आत्मनः कैवल्यम means dehadi rahityam. Now, what have you understood by the word kaivalyam? But kaivalyam means it means kevalasya bhavaha. The word kaivalyam means kevalasya bhavaha. From there, now you have allowed your buddhi to progress to reach the meaning conveyed by the word kaivalyam as dehadi rahityam. So you see, how have you climbed the steps, and therefore now you have the meaning of word kaivalyam as dehadi rahityam. Are you able to catch that up? Otherwise there will be a discrepancy. No, this is kaivalyam, हमारा कैवल्य ये होता है. अरे भाई कैवल्य का अर्थ ये ही हो सकता है, दूसरे अर्थ की वहां गुंजाइश नहीं है. Say suppose You two are some, let us say Mr. X, Mr. Y is there. They're walking by Ganga. Suddenly, Mrs. Dhamankar comes over there and she knows these people. So she tells, Are X comes for dinner, but you come alone, huh? That means what?
Why is not in?
Keval tumana. What is she saying? Keval. That word keval means elimination of anything else other than this. Kevalasya bhavaha kaivalyam. So keval means it is eliminating all others. That keval means atma ke keval atma. केवल आत्मा ही, आत्मा के सिवा दूसरा कुछ नहीं. तो whatever then now is you are able to make fit into the whatever you can fit into the category of anatma. So therefore the viveka is what is atma, what is anatma. Whatever is seen as anatma, just keep it aside, let it go, because that is definitely not atma. Kevalas, that's why it is said dehadi rahityam. But this is how you have to allow the buddhi to progress, so that the word is able to deliver, exhaust itself with all its meaning. हमारे एक वृंदावन में मैं जिनके पास पढ़ता था, स्वामी विश्वात्मानंद जी, उन्होंने एक बहुत सुंदर बात बताई. उन्होंने कहा, देखो ब्रह्मचारी, शब्द की गम कहां तक है वो देखो. गम मतलब ये नॉट ग्लू. जहां तक पहुंच सकता है, कहां तक उसकी गम्यता है, शब्द की गम कहां तक है वो देखो. Allow the word to take you to its farthest end. लेकिन हमको तो यही अच्छा लगा. What you like, what you don't like is not the thing. It is the function of the word to take you somewhere. In between, if you like something, will you sit over there? You are sitting in a train, so that the train takes you to the destination. On the way, अय्या मला हेच आवडलं, इथेच बसते, या स्टेशनवरती बसते, बस. You're going to sit there? No. Whether you like, you don't like, let that train take you to the destination. Like that, when you are riding the word has to take you to that destination. Let it exhaust itself. है ना? बढ़िया बात बताइए कि नहीं? शब्द की गम कहां तक है वो देखो. कैवल्यम कहां ले जा रहा है ये शब्द? तो फाइनली वेयर हैज ही मेड यू रीच? He is saying up. देहादि राहित्यम. कैवल्यम, कैवल्यम अप्पा. देहादि राहित्यम इति, अथवा देहादि रहितत्वम. देहादि केवलस्यात्मनो भावः कैवल्यम देहादि रहितत्वम. Got it? आ रहा है मजा इसमें? हाँ माँ, nice book. Like you wanted to give away that book. See, देहादि रहितत्वम. अच्छा, तच्च. तच्च means that. tat. तच्च ज्ञानादेव प्राप्यते. Tat means what over here? Tat means what? Your fingers and all are okay. Tat means somebody is showing fingers, somebody is rolling the eyes up. Correct. Now, in a sentence, suppose if I say, Rama is Dasharatha's son, he goes to forest. So I am using a pronoun. Okay. When can a pronoun be used? When the noun or the proper noun has been used before, then only the pronoun becomes meaningful. Now, say suppose if I out of the context I says he goes to forest. He goes to, कुछ समझ में आता है? Who he who's going to forest? But the sentence, the earlier part is Rama is Dashratha's son. He goes to forest. Now, what is the meaning of he? Rama. Now, I'm going to use a sentence. It is very beautiful. Now, if I say it is very beautiful, कुछ समझ में आया? नहीं. Then I'm going to say this is an Ashoka tree. It is very beautiful. By the way, Indian Ashoka is different, you know, na? No. Indian Ashoka is not like that. Remember, Sita was sitting under the Ashoka tree. What she was sitting under that tree? In no shade, no nothing. What will she sit under? Ashoka tree, the Indian Ashoka is different little bit. Different. The leaves look like the same shape, but it spreads. It has got a, what do they call it? Canopy. And it has got very beautiful, fragrant red flowers. अंगार जैसे दिखते हैं, like the what अंगार means? Embers.
Fire ember. Sparks.
Like that. It has got red color flowers and it looks beautiful. Ashoka. Worshipping Devi with Ashoka flowers, she likes. She likes Ashoka, Kandamba, Champaka. These are Devi's lotuses. These are her favorite, or bilwa leaves. Devi. Ashoka. So when I say this is a Ashoka tree, it is beautiful. Now that word it means Ashoka. Correct? Like that, the sentence is Tacha Janadeva Prapyate. What tat means it is. What is the meaning of word it over here? Kaivalyam अथवा देहादि राहित्यम. is attained through knowledge. But, sir, knowledge, how can knowledge remove body and everything else other than Atma? How can knowledge remove that? Because knowledge cannot remove anything else other than ignorance. Knowledge, hmm? Hmm? Alone. But what are you saying? Anatma. The entire range of anatma is removed by knowledge. Hmm? Entire range of anatma is removed by knowledge. That's what you're saying. And here, therefore, is a little खिच खिच. गले में खिचखिच, विक्स की गोली लो, खिचखिच दूर करो. Anathma is removed by knowledge. But knowledge removes only ignorance. Correct? So now we have to see a little bit of this, but let us look at it when we meet in the evening. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम्. Thank you.